Hey Rob here, how you doing? And it's great that you're listening to this. Well, I hope there's someone listening to this. This is just me sharing a few thoughts that have come to me recently about the existence of God. I'm also going to put them into my blog, which you can find at www.ancient-whispers.co.uk. So you can read it and you can listen to it, take it on board. Inevitably, I've probably going to digress from the thoughts that I'd written as I'm speaking it out to you. So do take in both. And before we carry on, if Celtic spirituality, that awakening to God and growing and transforming as an individual is your thing, make sure you subscribe to this channel. It's early days for the channel, so I'm building it, but it'd be great to have you along for the journey. Anyway, existence of God. Right, let's go. So in the quiet moments of life, when we pause to reflect, we can often sense a presence, a presence that is more than the sum of all that we see. And this presence is not distance or unreachable. It's literally it's the heartbeat of reality. It's itself. It's drawing us into its mystery and offering us a glimpse of something eternal. And reality has very much an essence, a way of being that holds everything together. You know, reality doesn't, bits of trees don't just float off into nothingness and we don't just disappear here and reappear there. Something holds everything together. This essence is not random or meaningless. It is purposeful. It's alive and profoundly interconnected. When Moses stood before the burning bush and asked for God's name, the answer came, I am that I am. Which is another way of describing reality. These words echo through time, inviting us to see God not as separate from life, but as life itself, the foundation of all that is. So have you ever considered, what holds your world together? Breath in your lungs, the steady beat of your heart, the intricate balance of nature, all of it points to a deeper source. In Celtic Christianity, this source is not confined to the heavens, but is found in streams and trees and the whispers of the wind. It is the divine woven into the fabric of creation, inviting us to walk with reverence and awe. And what of us? You ask, what of us? Each of us carries a spark of the divine, a reflection of God's image within us. This spark connects us not only to God, but to one another and to the world around us. It is through this connection that we find meaning, purpose, and the courage to grow. To live fully is to honor this spark, to let it guide our choices, our actions, and our relationships. What happens though if we lose sight of this connection? Well, life can feel fragmented, chaotic, or even empty. Yet, even in these moments, the divine presence remains, gently calling us back. And that's something that I've experienced over my whole journey and my whole path, which is why I'm now sat here sharing this with you. That gently calling back, never leaving, being aware that that thing is there saying there is another way to live your life. My other work in change work, we recognize this as the potential for transformation, a chance to realign with what truly matters. It's a journey not of striving, but of surrender, of letting go and allowing ourselves to be guided by the deeper wisdom that flows through all things. If we're feeling separate from that creative transformational process, if we feel distant from God, like I said, we could feel chaotic, fragmented, and even if we kind of go, well, I don't believe on that, I don't believe in that essence, that divine presence, that creative impulse in the universe is always there. And if we do what we do with love, if we create with love, if we share with love, we are engaging in that principle, regardless of whether we believe in that principle or not. Anyway, back. The Celtic tradition speaks of thin places where the veil between the earthly and the divine is especially thin. These are not just physical places, but moments in time when we feel the sacredness of now, the presence of something greater than ourselves. Perhaps you felt it in the stillness of dawn, in the embrace of a loved one, or in the quiet knowing that you're not alone. These are invitations to remember who you are and where you belong. Because God is not an abstract idea or a distant deity, not some fuzzy dude on a cloud with a beard surrounded by people playing harps, but God is the very essence of reality, pulsing through every breath and every moment. And while this truth may seem vast and unknowable, it is also deeply personal. The divine reaches out to us in ways we can understand, offering guidance, comfort, and hope. It's not about proving God's existence. I remember reading something years ago where they said, God is so incomprehensible. Why spend a lifetime or waste a lifetime trying to prove God's existence? And it's not about proving God's existence. It's about experiencing it in the beauty of creation, in the depth of our relationships, and in the quiet whispers of our hearts. So let's take a moment just now to breathe deeply. Feel the life within and around you. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the life within and around me, just out there. Someone's shouting in the street. I'm going to leave that in because that's what I'm talking about. Just that. Know that you are part of something infinite, of something sacred. And as you breathe, allow yourself to rest in the knowing that God is here. Not as an idea to grasp, but as a presence to experience. And in this presence, may you find peace. In this peace, may you find purpose. And in this purpose, may you remember that you are deeply connected to all that is, held in the embrace of divine love and guided by a wisdom that is always near. That's my thoughts, just for now. In the blog, I'm going to share two versions of my thoughts. I won't lie, I wrote it out the first time and I was kind of like, I wasn't even quite sure where it came from in my head because it was a bit, I was like, whoa, that's a bit, I'm not sure everybody's going to be able to access and read that. So what I'm going to do when I post the written blog up is I'm going to post this version of it, but I'm also going to do the more headier one that I did earlier. So you can read both and I really hope that you find something in there that resonates with you. Anyway, much love, many blessings. God bless, and I hope to see you in a future video. Hello again. Actually, I also recorded the headier one, so I'm going to share it at the end of this. So if you want something a little bit more head tweaking, just stay on and listen, and I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, much love. Take care. Bye bye. Anyway, I'm going to pick something, it's a light topic, just to band around here, but the existence of God. And in the infinite expanse of existence, where reality unfolds in layers and layers beyond our comprehension, there resides a truth so profound that it whispers to the deepest parts of who we are. This truth beckons us to consider not just the world we see, but the essence of being itself. To explore the question of God's existence is not merely to analyze or deduce, but to touch the very fabric of reality and find it humming with purpose and presence. Reality, as we experience it, has an identity. It is not a random swirl of chaos, but an interconnected whole, cohering with precision and intelligence. When we say reality, we are naming an identity, a profound I am that anchors everything we know. And isn't it curious how this mirrors an ancient declaration? Those of you who are more biblical persuasion may recognize, I am that I am. I mean, these words spoken from the burning bush capture the essence of ultimate being, an eternal presence, self-sustaining and foundational. It's not merely existence, but existence imbued with purpose, awareness, and intent. So let's just pause. Let's consider, what is the source of this coherence, this unity that binds the cosmos. Science describes the universe in terms of states and processes, static moments, and the transitions between them. But what bridges these states? What ensures the harmony and continuity of existence? There must be a principle, a unifying force that just transcends time and space while imbuing them with meaning. Now, this principle, this intelligence, is what many call God. God's not confined to the physical universe, nor is God merely synonymous with it. Rather, God transcends the universe whilst interpenetrating it. Imagine the universe as a grand display, a magnificent tableau of stars and life and beauty. Yet, behind this display is the processor, the force that generates, sustains, and evolves the display. And the processor and the display together form a self-sustaining system, with God as the source of both. And this is no idle speculation. It's the only explanation that coherently accounts for the existence of consciousness, causation, and the continuity of reality. Now, consider consciousness itself. Each of us experiences reality through the lens of awareness. But where does this awareness come from? It cannot arise from mere matter, for matter alone cannot think, feel, or perceive. Instead, consciousness must be rooted in something deeper, something fundamental to the nature of existence. It is as though every particle, every quantum carries within it a spark of awareness, a reflection of the divine intelligence that just permeates it, all things. Which brings us to the extraordinary realization: God is not distant or abstract, but intimately present in all that is. Each of us is an image of God, a unique reflection of the divine essence. We are mapped from God's own nature, imbued with the capacity to think, to create and love. This mapping is personal, intentional, and profound. It is through this divine mapping that we're able to participate in the ongoing creation of reality, co-creators in the grand unfolding of existence. And yet, bear with, there is more. Reality is not static, it's generative. Every moment, every state is recreated anew, sustained by the underlying principle of divine coherence. This generative process is not random, but purposeful, driven by an intelligence that harmonizes all perspectives and possibilities. When we act with love, creativity, and awareness, we align ourselves with this divine intelligence. We become conduits for its expression, channels through which its beauty and truth flow into the world. But there will be those who deny this intelligence, who reject the coherence and purpose of existence. To turn away from God is to sever oneself from the source of life and meaning. It's to dwell in a reality of one's own making, disconnected and fragmented. This self-created world may resemble what some call hell, a state of existence devoid of harmony and light. Yet, even here, the spark of the divine longing remains, a whisper calling us back to unity and grace. And even to deny that, the moment we step into doing something that is creative, doing something that has purpose, that is done from a place of love, we are again mirroring that divine creativity, that divine light, that divine harmony, that I am, that I am. My brain was wavering off on a tangent there. You see that? I was pulling it back. I'm pulling it back. So in the Celtic tradition, there is a deep reverence for the interconnectedness of all things. The divine is seen not as separate from creation, but as its lifeblood, its very soul. This perspective invites us to see the sacred in the everyday, to recognize the divine presence in the rustling leaves, the flowing streams, quiet stillness of the heart. It reminds us that the journey towards God is not a distant quest, but a return to what is already within us. So let's contemplate this mystery, not with skepticism or doubt, but with open hearts and minds. Let us see the divine in the structure of reality, in the beauty of consciousness, and in the profound interconnectedness of all that is. For in doing so, we awaken to the truth that's always been. That God is, that God always has been, and God always will be. And as we awaken, let us act. Let us live as reflections of the divine, co-creators in the unfolding of existence. Let us bring love, harmony, and wisdom into the world, knowing that in doing so, we align ourselves with the ultimate reality. For this is not merely belief, it is the essence of what it means to be alive, to be human, and to be part of the infinite tapestry of being. So, take a moment. Breathe deeply. Feel the rhythm of your breath, the pulse of life within you. Know that this rhythm is a part of a greater rhythm, a cosmic dance that binds us all. In this moment, you are not separate, but one with the divine. So, take just a moment now. Take a nice deep breath in. Just feel the rhythm of your breath, the pulse of life within you. Know that this rhythm So take a moment now. Breathe deeply. Feel the rhythm of your breath, the pulse of life within you. Know that this rhythm is a part of a greater rhythm, a cosmic dance that binds us all. In this moment, you are not separate, but you are one with the divine. And in this oneness, you'll find not only the answer to the question of God's existence, but the key to your own. I'm thinking you'll probably want to listen back to this a few times. Take it on board. We're talking of things that way go beyond the logic of every day. Some things are too vast, too unfathomable for us. Our conscious, logical minds are never going to comprehend it. So when we come up against something like that, we have to just allow the words to resonate with us and allow them to make their own changes, influence, inspire. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Much love, many blessings, and I hope to catch you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.